Over the past couple of days, the NFL has slowly leaked some information as far as this year's schedule goes. So we already know 2 games that the Eagles will be playing. Also, I want to talk about this whole Andre Chachere situation and what it might mean for the Eagles. And lastly, I want to go over your guys' comments when I asked, what would a trade package look like for Howie Roseman? So let's talk about it.
You want Philly food?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
What's going on, you guys? It's your boy Joe Castro, aka Philly Fresco, and it is Philly the podcast. So today I want to talk about a couple things. I want to talk about Andre Chachere, what I think it might mean for this Eagles team. I want to talk about the 2 games that have been announced for the Eagles' upcoming schedule and season, and obviously I want to go over the trade. You guys came up with some amazing comments. I want to go over what you guys said you would go ahead and trade Howie Roseman for. So before we get into that, be sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe, join the family. We are on the road to 10K, and I would love for you guys to join that ride. So I want to start with Andre Chachere. Honestly, great player, honestly a great person. I believe he played in 7 games for us last year, was a special teams ace for us. A guy that, look, he's been cut a couple times. He's come back to the Eagles. This time he doesn't. He has been picked up by the Cardinals. It feels like Jonathan Gannon wants all his backups back. So, hey, go ahead and grab him. But look, Andre Chachere, a lot of people have been talking about what this might mean for the Eagles in regards to maybe trading for another guy or picking up another guy. I personally do not think that that is what it's about. I think that this is, realistically, there's so many young players in that secondary that someone was going to get cut. Someone was going to get let go of. And honestly, you've seen so much of Andre already that it feels like they knew what they had in him and they knew what they were going to get in him, going into this camp. So you're able to add some tryouts. I believe there was a Hispanic guy, I forget his name, but a cornerback that got added that's like 6'2". Apparently he's pretty good. Apparently he might be getting, actually signed. So I think that it was realistically just a move to make some room. And I don't think that we should read too deep into it. There's a lot of players in that secondary. Now, will the Eagles go ahead and trade for another guy? It's possible. I wouldn't throw anything out as, being impossible, but I just don't think it's very likely. I think if you're going to try to add anywhere, most likely it's going to be that defensive line still or the linebacking room. I think that the linebacking core is really what needs maybe a little bit of injection of talent, proven talent. We don't necessarily know what these guys at linebacker is going to be. So I don't think that the Chachere, cut really means too much. We're still in the stages of trying to see what young guys will lock on with this roster. So that's my take on it. I mean, look, if we trade for somebody, awesome. I just don't see it happening. Now, also, I want to talk about these games. So yesterday I did come out and said that, Travis Kelce's mother and Jason Kelce's mother said that the Eagles would be playing in week 2 against the Chiefs, that it looked like that was going to be the Super Bowl matchup. So it looks like that's true. I haven't seen anybody, saying that it wasn't true yet, but they also dropped that the Eagles will be hosting the Giants on Christmas Day at 4:30 p.m. Eastern. The Eagles will take on the Giants on Christmas. So look, I'm cool with it. Personally, I don't do too much on Christmas. I mean, if you're most Hispanics, I don't want to say all, but I know a lot of the Hispanics I'm around, obviously my family as well. We usually celebrate Christmas like the day before. So I'm gonna be chilling on Christmas anyways. So I'm excited to watch that game. Now, also some things that, stick out to me are that we play the Chiefs in week 2, right? Last time we played the Chiefs in week 2, we won the Super Bowl. We also are hosting a Christmas game for the first time since the last time, which we won a Super Bowl. So, I mean, look, this makes me feel good. This could be me just throwing things at the wall, hoping that something sticks. Most likely it's that, but I am excited. I am so excited for tomorrow to see the rest of this schedule drop. I will be doing Best of Enemies, so me and James will most likely be live while they're, telling us what the schedule is, and we'll go live and we'll talk about it. So definitely check that out. Now, lastly, I wanted to, and this is what the video is really about. I wanted to ask you guys, because obviously Howie Roseman has been absolutely incredible this offseason. And honestly, like the past couple of offseasons, you can go back to 2016. He's been doing very well. There was bad picks here and there, don't get me wrong. But for the most part, I've been very happy with what I've gotten out of Howie Roseman. And I think that everybody loves him as our GM. All right, quickly before we get to the rest of this video, I want to give a huge shout out to Palmer Moving, man. They make moving a breeze. All seriousness, a really good guy, man. Nick Palmer helps you out. He just talks to you, lets you know what you need. Make sure you're not overspending on the move, man. I moved from up north all the way down to Florida, and him and his team definitely made it so easy. I literally did not break a sweat at all. I watched him sweat. I didn't break a sweat. I'm gonna leave the link to his website and everything. Tell him that Philly sent you, and he will give you a special discount on your next move. So if you are in the Pennsylvania area, or shoot, anywhere realistically, definitely hit up my guy Nick Palmer and Palmer Moving, and I appreciate them for sponsoring this video. But let's get back into it. There's been conversation about other GMs getting upset about how much love he actually gets. Be better at your job. Be better at your job, and then you won't have to worry about another man getting love. You know what I'm saying? It's weird energy to have in the first place, but be better at your job, other GMs. So I went ahead and I asked the Twitter sphere, I asked YouTube, I asked Instagram, what would a trade package look like for Howie Roseman? If a team came up to you, if an NFL team came up to you and said, we want Howie, what would your response be? And some of the responses were absolutely hilarious. I'm going to be showing some of them as I read through them, and obviously I'll be showing some right now, probably over my face. But look, I'll say my opinion. Personally, I'd never trade Howie Roseman, and that was kind of the overarching sentiment that I got through, you know, the Twitter sphere and everything, social medias when I asked. No, a lot of people just said there's no trade to be had. I agree 100%. I mean, look, if I was to make up a trade, because, you know, just to answer the question, right? And shout out to all y'all that actually try to come up with an actual trade, because it's hard to even think what you would do. I would say something along the lines of multiple firsts, multiple seconds, maybe a player thrown in there. I mean, remember when they were going to go up and get Mariota? You remember when they were going to go up and get Mariota? We were going to give up a couple good players. I believe Avonte Maddox was in there. I know Fletcher Cox was one of the guys in that conversation. We were going to give up multitude of picks. It's going to be something like that. You're going to have to really come out the kitty for me to give up a guy like Howie Roseman. He has just been way too good. He's still really young. I mean, he's 47 years old. That's not that old. I mean, you see guys go until their 60s at the position. So I don't feel like he's getting any worse. If anything, he's getting better. And if you look at how he came into this league, he came into this league as a numbers guy, right? He came into this league working with numbers, working with the cap, and just kind of being a financial advisor. He's obviously grown in that role and grown into being the GM that kind of knows both sides, being able to work with very good scouts and very good GMs over his years, right? Having guys like Joe Douglas being able to just kind of show you the ropes as far as talent evaluation goes. And I mean, we can go through their whole staff. They've had a lot of really good guys, come through this building, whether it be coaching, whether it be scouts, whatever it is. We usually find ourselves losing very good staff members because they do so well here. So he's been in contact with a lot of great minds, and I think it rubs off on Howie Roseman. But what I want to do, and this was the hardest thing to do in the world, I'm going to be 100% honest. We had over 100, more than 100 comments, and I put it up late last night thinking nobody's going to really have time to respond, but you guys are amazing. So we had so many comments, but I want to go through my top, I don't even know. I screenshotted a couple, and I'm just going to go through them. So you guys let me know what you guys think of these. I wanted to read these, so let's get into it. All right, so the first one is off of the YouTube, actually, and it's from Marcel Carter. It says, I need 8 first-round picks, 2 for the next 4 years, plus ours. Okay, I respect it. 40 acres and any offensive player and defensive player of our choice. I mean, that's kind of, obviously the 8 first-round picks isn't necessarily what they were going to give up for Mariota. But, I mean, I'm on the same page, bro. We got to get a haul. We have to get a haul. John Pace says, whoever says anything less than a lifetime of first-round picks is disrespecting Mr. Howie Roseman himself. And we're staying on the YouTube here. Fish and Car says, the firstborn child of every player and member of that organization. Oh, God. And we just talked about Joe Douglas. So Kev, the creator, said, if it were the Jets, I'd say Joe Douglas, 3 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, Sauce Gardner and Garrett Wilson. I would do that in a heartbeat. I would do that in a heartbeat. But the one thing is, right, you have a contract with that guy. So if the contract is going to be with Howie Roseman for 3-4 years, Howie Roseman coming back. After that 4 years is done, we're going to go pay him out and make sure he comes on back. Gift the Gab says Howie has a no trade clause for life. Imagine him like a draft prospect, giving him another 3 years. He hasn't even hit his prime. It's the truth. I said that earlier too. He really has not hit what he can become. I think that he's gotten better year after year. Jay Richards, I believe this is on Twitter now, says Howie would probably trade himself and somehow get himself back with 5 firsts and a player. Oh, God, right? It's true. It's very true. Ilna? I don't know. Writes to the team history, including any and all past Lombardi trophies. Hey, I wouldn't be mad at that either. TJ Dizzler says, we get 1 pick every year that he remains as that team's GM, but every year it alternates between first or second round picks. 2024, we get a first. 2025, we get a second, and yada, 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 and so on for the entirety of Howie career. If he goes to another team, they take over the deal. I like that. Boss says they must sell their entire team and franchise in return for Howie Roseman. Bird Gang for Life says 10 first round picks, 20 seconds, their best player. I mean, if they're paying the remaining contract, I'm with it. I'm definitely down with that. But you see, because you're going to have to work, you're going to have to figure that out now, right? Because you're losing your wizard of the cap space. So now you need other teams to take on some of these contracts. Sarp says, I want the entire team, all of the players, because Howie will still manage to build something special in a couple years. Big facts. Oz says, lifetime first round picks, non-negotiable. I'm with you there, Oz. Bird Gang says, I would never trade the best GM in the NFL, and only the radio can play. Says 5 second round picks, 4 thirds, and cash. Howie blew a lot of firsts, so not getting any in return seems fitting. No, we need some first, big dog. We need some first. All right, so the last one I'm going to read. We're gonna just pick a random one. All right, I like this one. So Andrizzi said, keys to their city, their entire salary cap for the next 7 years, Aaron Donald, Tyreek Hill, Christian McCaffrey, rights to all their teams' Lombardi trophies, ownership, and the entirety of the Louisiana Purchase. That's the deal I'm going with. So look, let's keep this going, man. If you guys have any trade offers, put them in the comments, and maybe I'll do a part 2 to this if you guys thought this was cool, if you thought it was funny. But as information comes out, I definitely will be bringing it to you. I appreciate you guys. This was just for some fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Be sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe. But other than that, y'all know what it is. This fly goes fly, and we are out here. Peace.
Eagles fans everywhere, this is for you.
Fly was flying on the team. Touchdown. Time to get Jalen this ring. You don't really want to start a thing. This a Bird Gang Nation, baby. It's a Philly thing. Hater, and you looking like you type trash. I'm just here calling on Philly the podcast. And we can call a man dog or watch Miles score off the handoff. Rest of the division, your man saw Jackson like Sean, hunting like Randall. Season head, early time to do him in. Your boy Philly Fresco. Thanks for tuning in.